Hi, I'm Philip Ball. I'm going to make my first attempt at a video to help the unsuspecting when they're dealing with the Whale Gulper toilet pump. I'm doing this because I had no help whatsoever from Whale themselves, and suppliers couldn't seem to resolve the problem I had. And so I'm going to try and assist to identify the problem for you in case you experience the same thing. So the Whale Gulper system is like this, usually mounted vertically on the bulkhead of a boat or caravan, but mainly boats in this case. And this is the diaphragm. The yellowy bit is the diaphragm that you will be advised to change if it comes up for maintenance, or in fact if there's a defect. And then together with the diaphragm you will see these valve housings. There is a valve which is directional, it must be the right way round, and these valves get tired so you don't get the proper flow and you get backflow. There's one in that end and there's one intermediate one in the housing there, which you can see. So the maintenance kit comprises 4 of the valves, 2 inlet, 2 outlet, and the diaphragm that I've shown you. So to do the normal maintenance, you would have to dismantle the housing that's below this level where those valves are mounted, and then unscrew the plate here, single screw on there, take the plate off like that. Don't lose this and get it round the right way. It is directional. One side is curved, the other is not. And then the diaphragm, you would take that off and replace it. They go brittle and they seem to lose their effectiveness. The problem I had was none of that worked and nobody could seem to help out. So I took off the whole assembly and worked out what was wrong. So this is the top end, the electrical connectors you can see that I've cut away, and you can disconnect that section there, if I can get the wires out. And then you have the motor mounted in here, simple rotary motor, but at this end you just take off the housing which has got the label on it, and then you've got the workings here. So this is the diaphragm unit that we've just disconnected, and on this side you'll see clearly there's a worm gear driving from that rotary 12-volt motor in there, driving this gearing here. And it's a simple matter of disconnecting that motor by these screws here, which I've obviously pre-prepared. So take those out, and the gist of this is to look for the wear on the worm gear rotary section of the motor. I'll show you what I mean in a moment. So the worm drive is there, and it goes through, it spins and drives the gear, and then that moves this guy up and down. So I will take the worm out of there. You can see it just drops out, a little bit of teasing on that edge, and then it drops out, and then you just have the 12-volt motor with the worm drive. If that's turning, you'll hear it turning, and the problem I experienced was, although it was turning and it was pumping air, anything more than that or any height of pressure, water pressure, it didn't do anything. So you can see that this rotates with the worm drive, and then the diaphragm is pushed up and down by this device here. I'll put that back. There's that. So the diaphragm is pushed up and down and just oscillates and then delivers the pressure. Now, the problem I found to disconnect this wheel is that the teeth on this side here, which look like they're in good order, were in fact not engaging properly with the worm. So when you get any pressure or any solids, it then starts to slip. And all that was happening was it was slipping on that bit and stopping the diaphragm from working properly. So it required a complete motor, a complete unit to be replaced. And that was a case of, I don't know what else to do. I replaced the whole thing, something in the order of £350 or more. And yet it's only that drive which is the problem. But I couldn't get that as a spare part. Maybe Whale would come up with that as a spare part if you could specifically tell them which model you've got and why you need it. But otherwise, it's a very simple operation. You can put it all back together really easily. Just make sure that when you put the worm drive in, you tease it in really gently so you don't spoil the new teeth on your device. I hope that's helpful. Let's hope that Whale come up with a better support system in terms of telephone or email connections, and actually help in determining what goes wrong with their systems. Thank you. I hope that was useful.